Hey guys, welcome to the One Ray Journal Daily Goal Journal Club. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe we're here. We have been working at this project for the last 6+ months, and in my mind, the last 2 years. And it feels very surreal that it's actually coming to life, and I cannot wait for the next 3 weeks for free in these videos to show you the exact secret sauce of how to maximize your experience using our journals. So on that note, let's get started. It has been a hot minute since I've filmed any kind of content for you in video format, so it just feels like the right move to get cozy on my couch with you and really give you an inside look into my head and how we actually planned this to set you up for success. One Ray Daily Goal Journal is meant to help you establish a clear vision of the direction that you want to go, develop a plan of step by step, how am I gonna get there, and to help you actually stay accountable to achieving these goals that ultimately lead to your dream life. These videos are perfectly great to watch before you own the journal if you're considering the journal. And I know right now you're probably at the point where you're like, why do I need this journal? How is it going to make my life better? And let me point it out for you. One Ray Journal is designed to simplify the process and to help you focus on what gives you the most return on investment, whether it's the most important steps to stay accountable for, or it's the most important habits that you get the most joy and energy from, and really the things that it takes to move the needle forward to actually achieving the goal that you're looking to achieve. It is so easy, and so many of us are guilty of wanting to do something but not actually either identifying what it takes to get there and not staying consistent on the habits and skills we need to put effort into every single day to achieve. So today's video, we're gonna start with an overview of the monthly portion of One Ray Goal Journal. When you open it up, you will find a little welcome letter to you from me to share with you exactly my intention of how we created the journals. And I say we because Emily Frazier is the amazing graphic designer who is the co-creator of it with me. She packages it all up and makes it look beautiful in a way that I could never dream of. So when you open it, you'll see our intention and approach of how we went into it. I will let you read that on your own. On the next page, you'll see some helpful hints on how to fill it out, such as starting with the end in mind. So working backwards, here's where I want to go, and here are all the small steps that it will take to get there. Our comfort zone challenge for the daily portion, which we will get to, but not yet today, and how to further connect with me on Instagram, on our website, on the weekly email list, which you are on if you're receiving this, and so much more good stuff. Make sure you do not skip over pages 2 and 3. So diving into the monthly page, this is both a vision casting, so futuristic view, and it's also a reflection of where you are coming from. So the first prompt at the top is, where do you want to be in 1 month? We're not looking for specifics, we're looking for a very general idea. Say, for example, your goal is health related. Maybe you say, I want to feel confident in my body this summer, fall, winter, fill in the blank. I want to fit better in my clothes. I want to be able to run without feeling like I'm gasping for air. We are looking for grand. We do have plenty of opportunities to get very specific, but for now, I want you to just close your eyes and see in your head where you, in 1 month from today, will be. Not where you want to be, not where you think you could be. Where will you be? Because when I vision cast, when I look into the future and see what I want to achieve, I don't tell myself I'm going to try to get there. I tell myself, here's where I'm going to be, regardless of what it takes to get there. It's a for sure. I don't give myself the opportunity to step out of the lines or any excuses to not try. So I want you to get used to this idea of talking about the future version of yourself as though you are already there. Close your eyes and feel the person that you will become in 1 month as though it is happening now. I want to be able to lift heavier weights during my squat. So you know what I do? I close my eyes and I picture myself squatting in the exact position with the exact amount of plates on each side as though it is happening now. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not, so please Message me, email me if it does not. Think big, think broad, and even though this is just 1 month, I want you to picture yourself with a goal that feels larger than you think you can accomplish, okay? The goal is not to play small here. We want you to sit down and really get comfortable figuring out where you are and where you want to be. So 1 month from today, who will you be? Some examples include, I want to wake up earlier. I want to run further than 1 mile. I want good grades on my report card. I want to get a promotion at work or hit a certain revenue in my business. So think very generally in this section. This is the part where I want you to dream of the best version of yourself. The reason we have 1 month is because it's far enough that most of us can picture what it's gonna feel like, but it's not too far that it feels out of reach. Okay, so the next section is very essential. I do this on my own. I've done this for years in a blank journal. What challenges will hinder your progress in reaching that dream version of yourself? So let's say for your health, you're looking to maybe lose weight, maybe feel more energized. Something that may pose as a challenge is an upcoming holiday party. Obviously, there's going to be temptation there. You want to identify that so you can more easily set yourself up and say, okay, I'm planning for that. So maybe I'll eat a little healthier the day before and the day of so that I allow myself to indulge versus not planning at all, indulging a little bit the day before, indulging a little bit at the party, and then feeling guilty or upset with progress being hindered. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about here. Figuring out, yes, there will be challenges, but how can I better prepare for them so that when they arise, I have a plan B? I'm anticipating them, I expect them, I know here's what I'm gonna do when I'm faced with something that throws me off track. This is key for achieving a goal because we are always faced with distraction and challenges that can derail us at any moment. So I want you to be very intentional about thinking of all worst case scenarios of distractions that will happen to me in the next month. Next section is what progress have I made up to this point? So this one is super important because I personally feed off of previous momentum that is happening in my life, whether it's health, whether it's business. I do better when I have something to work off of. So for example, Thursday, this past week, I went for a really good run. I went 4.5 miles. And then yesterday I was planning to run again and I thought, I don't feel like going. I'm probably gonna go slow today. I'm tired. My ankles are kind of stiff. And in my head, I was thinking, you just ran 4.5 miles like 2 days ago. You can do it again. It's easier to do it the second time knowing my body was physically able to do it the first time. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. How can you use momentum and progress that you have already made in your life in whatever area you're reaching for? And it can be more than one, but for the sake of this journal, it's easier to stick to kind of one thing. How can you use that momentum to fuel yourself into a stronger version of you because you've already done that really hard thing? How can you use that to teach yourself, you know what? I am a badass. I already did that hard thing. I can do this next level thing. I'm a firm believer in looking back and pinpointing and being proud of yourself for overcoming things that were difficult on a given day. Difficult might look different for you. Difficult might be getting out of bed some days. Difficult might be speaking in front of 100 people, depending on the day. So take that with a grain of salt. What progress have you made up to this point? And if you can't identify it upon first glance, look at other statistics and other areas that you can look for growth and use that to start the wheel moving. For example, the first year that I was selling journals and I was in business, I didn't make a lot of money. So the second year I started going month by month and I used the momentum of the first year in total instead of going month by month, if that makes sense. So maybe it's on a different scale than you're expecting it to be, but still there is always progress to look for in any area of your life. All right, next question is, what 3 things will I do differently this upcoming month to see results? There is a saying, and I don't remember who said it, but it's not me, that says what got you here will not get you there. So the progress you've made up to this point has gotten you into a great position, but what's it gonna take to get to that next level? And I'm not talking on a granular scale. I want you to think very small and minimal. What are some of the things that would drive the biggest results? So let's say you're in college, you're looking to graduate, get good grades. Maybe you've been studying on average 2 hours a week, but in order to get an A on the test and bump your grade up, you need to put in 3 or 4 hours of studying. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Very small steps that add up over time. Maybe if you're looking to get in shape, it's going for 1 or 2 extra walks per week, and they can be 10-minute walks, they can be 15-minute walks. Something very small. What will you do differently? Because the next level or the next highest version of yourself that you're reaching for is going to require a different level of focus, determination, and discipline. So how can you feed that in a way that allows you to level up? The next section is, what is my biggest why, aka my biggest motivator in achieving this goal? So for me personally, let's say I was using it for health. The health of myself, my mental, physical, emotional, spiritual well-being directly drives the energy I have to grow and scale my business. If I don't take good care of myself, I feel like garbage. I get headaches, I don't sleep well, I'm nasty to my family and friends, I'm unable to produce great results and great work and focus in my business. So truly focusing on my health is the thing that drives every great thing in my life. Relationships, business, personal well-being, feeling calm and centered where I am. And so that's the kind of, we call it raising necessity. My accountability group read High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard, and we have this joke now about raising necessity, but truly raising necessity means making something do or die kind of thing. So for me, taking good care of myself and focusing on my health is the thing that allows me to have a life rich in small pleasures and also be able to pay my bills. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about here. I want you to get very specific and figure out what is the reason I want to do this, because when you have a reason, you are more easily able to go back to that when your motivation runs thin, when your discipline is low, when you don't feel like putting in another hour of work into whatever it is you're working towards. And so I believe very deeply in getting specific on the reason that you're doing this. And finally, this one is my all-time favorite along the lines of visualization, is picture how it feels to have achieved and be in that place that you first identified in the where I will be in 1 month. Sit with that, picture it, feel it as though it has already happened to you, and then write down some thoughts that you can go back to in moments that you're feeling unmotivated and not very disciplined. One of the things that I believe very deeply in manifesting a goal is to set aside some time to sit down, close my eyes, and just put myself in the place of reaching that goal. So for you, go back to the first section that you filled out of where I will be in 1 month and really sit there mentally, physically, feel what it's like to achieve that. And it may feel silly at first. You may be like, well, it would be really nice to have $1 million, but I don't have that yet. But what would your house look like? What would your life, what would your daily routine look? What would your hair look like? What kind of clothes would you wear? Get very specific, and there's no wrong answer. I know a lot of people say to be realistic, and I'm not a very realistic person. I am within reason, but I'm not a very realistic person because I do believe anything is possible for my own life. And I never want to say that because I have a lot of privilege that other people don't have. I have to be very careful in the way that I phrase that. But I want you to really allow yourself non-judgmentally, nobody is watching you, nobody knows what you're writing down, to feel what it's like to be a stronger, better, more focused, happier version of yourself. So that section, do not skip over. Make sure you write down some pointed phrases or words that you experience when you're putting yourself in that place of I did that. And do that every single day, multiple times a day. Continue to get your body used to feeling that, and I guarantee you, watch what happens. I can't guarantee you anything, but I can guarantee you that you should watch what happens when you put that kind of level and focus and energy into the thing that you want to come to life. And that is all, my friends, for the monthly goal journal section. Next week we'll be covering weekly, and the following will be daily. So I hope you stick around for that. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me.